Hey everyone! So as some of you probably know, I've made an animated music video to celebrate 40 years of Transformers. And I also included other people's animations in the video, because I'm not the only one in the fandom and I wanted this to be extra special. Again, thank you to those who contributed, check these guys out. But anyway, most of you wanted a making of, so I'll oblige because I love that stuff. So I was driving in my car, just praying, and I was thinking about how it's been 40 years since Transformers was born. How do you celebrate that? One thing that stood out to me is just how many different versions there are of the same characters, stories, MacGuffins, and what have you. It's never ending. There's always going to be another timeline, another idea to explore, another world, another character. It can be overwhelming. And that brought a song to mind. The Ruler of Everything by Tallyhall. I think it perfectly conveyed my feelings towards Transformers. I chose Cosmic Starscream as the framing device because he can see into various worlds and timelines. I think most people know about his story. He got a hold of an ultimate power and then he wreaked havoc. I decided to do my own version of events just to make it fit in with the video. Since I'm using the Ruler of Everything, I took inspiration from the original music video, as you can see here. And I also took inspiration from other people. Also, I wanted to combine different mediums, not just because Tallyhall did it, but because Transformers has so many diverse art styles. We got hand-drawn, CGI, live action, and even puppetry. Needless to say, this project was very effects heavy, even more so than my other videos. So how did I do it? Here is a comprehensive list of things I used. For G1 Starscream, I used two different figures. For the close-ups, I used my 86 Studio Series Coronation Starscream. I removed all of his accessories to make it easier to animate. For the distant shots, I used my 3.5-inch Legacy Starscream. So yes, some of this was stuff we already had lying around. As for the programs I used GIMP for editing the frames and making the effects, and MS Paint for removing the backgrounds. In Windows 11, MS Paint has an AI tool that removes backgrounds. It's not perfect, but it can certainly help. I don't like the idea of AI replacing artists, of course, but in this case it helps me complete several weeks worth of work in an afternoon. To help me render the video and put everything together, I used Shotcut, which is a free program. However, if your computer isn't beefy, I don't recommend it. It takes a lot of RAM for what it does and has a tendency to crash. There's plenty of other better programs, I just happen to use this one because I'm used to it and my computer is powerful enough to handle it. I also used OBS and Audacity to snatch up some videos and sounds. My video contains a combination of paper, practical, and digital effects. I won't go into detail about every single thing I did, so I'll just give you the highlights. Let's start with the ultimate power that Starscream gets. I cut out some shapes from painted paper and animated them to make it look like they were moving. Then, I added some filters in Shotcut to get the look I want. Afterwards, I included various clips from different Transformers shows. Next, I edited them to make them look mysterious and floaty. I then dragged these assets over footage of a color-changing light bulb and boom, ultimate power. When Starscream touches it, I just drew some squiggles frame by frame and added some filters. The gears were also made with paper and animated in Shotcut. The stuff you see like the lasers, energy blasts, explosions, and fire were hand-drawn in GIMP and dragged into the scene. All I needed were filters to complete the look. And for his spark, I used various effects I found on YouTube in addition to the filters I had on Shotcut. This was probably the most time-consuming part of the entire video. For those of you who don't know, rotoscoping is the act of making an animation by tracing over live-action footage frame by frame. According to the Adobe website anyway. The most famous example I can think of is the Take On Me music video. That uses rotoscoping. And I thought it would be perfect for Cosmic Starscream. All I had to do was animate him and then trace over it. Easy peasy, right? I had no idea what I was in for. So Starscream, after he goes cosmic, is on screen for about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes maybe. My program rendered it at 25 frames a second, so therefore we would need between 2,250 to 3,000 frames. And I would have to draw every single one by myself. I didn't have a team or anyone else that could help me. Animating is not for the faint of heart. But thankfully, God made me too stubborn to give up. And it's worth noting I also animated on 2s and 3s and such. So I didn't need to draw every frame every time. I could reuse them, which was nice, but it still took me a couple of months to complete. And that's not even mentioning all the gears I had to draw. This is probably the best thing I've ever made so far. There are a few flaws in here that I wish I could change, but I'll carry these lessons on to the next video. Seeing the support from all you people is a great honor. Thank you, and thanks again to those who made and submitted their animations. After this, I feel like I can't just go back to simple videos anymore, but I'll probably do them anyway. However, I still want another challenge, but I need an idea. And I got several, but which will it be? Guess you'll have to wait and find out. If you guys have any more questions, please feel free to comment. I'll be happy to answer them as long as it pertains to the animation. Anyway, that is all. Bye.